Okay, today we're doing something a little different. Normally, I'm not the first kid on the bus when it comes to new video games. In fact, I'm pretty fucking old myself. I don't think I've ever really been first on a video game. The only video game I've ever been first on for myself would be Skyrim and Dead Space 3. Outside of those two, I'm usually a week or two late to the party, or I'm a couple months late to the party once the price goes down, because I like to thrift it with games. I don't usually like to spend out full price. But when I saw that Capcom, the loving developer of the Monster Hunter series, which, gotta stay humble to my roots, was making a Dead Space video game, I said, why not? Normally, when I see a price tag that's over $49.99 for a game, my first reaction is to go, ugh, and not think about it, and then just put it on the back burner for later. And this time I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's get a new game. Let's try an absolutely industry new game. Like 2 days after it came out, because everyone was like, hey, it runs really, really good. It runs really, really well. It's optimized. Now here's the part of the words optimized I didn't tell you. Optimized for current gen. Optimized for current gen cards, graphics cards at least. But we'll get back to that subject. Let's start in today and talk about PRAGMATA. Now, I wasn't really even following the news up to this game's release. I was sitting there one night, drinking, bumming it, clickety-clackety, editing videos, and a YouTube ad came on while I was editing, and I looked over, and it looked like Dead Space, and I was like, damn, Dead Space 3 kind of fucking hit the wall hard and fell dead. Did they allow a next one to be made? I was like, is this the remaster of 2? I know they said they didn't meet sales expectations, and I got real hyped. I was like, oh, Dead Space. And then I saw a bit further, I was like, why does Isaac Clarke have a blonde kid? That's about the point it rolled in that I was like, this isn't Dead Space anymore. Now, off of what I saw there, I was like, okay, this looks kind of a nifty concept. It's been a while since we got a third-person over-the-shoulder shooter. I mean, shoot, we had Dead Space, we had Gears of War, which is also coming back around apparently. And then out of nowhere, Capcom, who have not always been industry titans, but industry standards, have just dropped Monster Hunter Wilds on our laps, which doesn't really run super optimized because it's a giant open world game. And then they drop this slightly smaller game on us, and it's like, huh. Maybe their re-engine actually can really fucking do it. I mean, strictly speaking, after I figured out which graphical settings I needed to change to take it from the 5090 quality down to the 3070 Ti quality, everything runs nice. It does. I actually played through the game, so much more so that I now have 100% of the trophies. Because I was like, shoot, why not? I'm already playing it. It's not a bad game. It's mildly entertaining. And I was like, is this a game I can picture myself coming back to with all the love, care, hopes, and dreams? No. No, it is not. I am a very realistic person when it comes to games, and this is why I love buying them at a discount, because there are certain games that people like to think about and they're like, yeah, this was the best game ever. It defined the entire system it came out of. You know what? Those people still exist. You ask Assassin's Creed fans, hey man, what's the best Assassin's Creed game? And if they say anything after, like, I want to say it was the French one, Revelations. Probably getting the name wrong on that one. Future me can correct that somewhere up here and call me a dumbass. But if you tell me your favorite Assassin's Creed and they tell you something after that, the Assassin's Creed fandom will start on fire internally implode and cease to exist. Because people in the Super Assassin's Creed fandom are either one side, two side. You're either, hey, I like the new kind of RPG mechanics they got going on, or you're, ooh, Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, best. Oh, fuck yeah. You get a lot of those people who just, they'll sit there and jerk it to the same thing. Because it's what they knew, it's what was good in their childhood. You don't want new things, you want it to stay standard. When the gaming industry drops another AAA budgeted game for $10 less than the industry market standard right now, that's kind of an impressive thing. And you're like, huh, they're dropping a game for $50 instead of the regular $70 that we've been seeing now. Seeing Capcom, of all people, drop a random Dead Space styled game that was just out there kind of blew me away, and I was like, shit, I want to get on the boat for this. I want to see what it's about. With me and game revisits, though, I always try to be super real about it. I don't like to go back to certain games. Like, if you told me to go play every Assassin's Creed game right now and ask me where would I go back, I'm going to pick the RPG games. Because RPG games, or even moderately open world games, have this little thing here called replayability. Now, you may not see much in between my hands. Maybe some sunlight. Part of a dumbass behind it. But if you take the replayability out of a game and you make it a game on rails, you know what to expect. You know 1,000% what to expect. And that's the problem that I have. Like, the Dead Space games, I'll always say that I love them. I'll say that they're great games, even. But, like, if I go back to Dead Space 1, I'm not going to claim I could play it with my frickin' eyes closed, but I mean, shoot. I played through Dead Space 1 just this past Spooktober on my channel here, and I knew where to find the Peng trophy. I haven't played Dead Space 1, the original 2008, since before the remake of Dead Space 1 came out, and I still knew where to find Peng. Found a bunch of ruby semiconductors, never ran out of money. It's just, once you've played a game on rails, you know where everything is. Some of those jump scares just kind of lose their value because you're like, yep, I know that sumbitch Jim's around the next corner waiting for me. I'm gonna get him. Or like parts of the regenerator. I would always have my stasis loaded up because I knew the regenerator was coming for me. It's a game on rails. 100%. If you take games like, just throw a random one in there, like the Jedi game that I played maybe last year, 2 years ago at this point, the Jedi Fallen Order. That one's at least a little closer to RPG style, where you can go to an area, the enemies always reset in the exact same area. It's a Souls-like, but you still have a semi-open world, and to get to those things, you need to skill check yourself. That's a little bit better than a railed game. Is it on some sort of rails? Yes. Is it totally on the rails? No. And of course, everyone's favorite shining examples of games not on rails. Want to talk about Fallout New Vegas? You want to talk about Skyrim? We could talk about that shit all week long. Those games, there is a rail. You could choose to ride it or not. That's simple. Pragmata, outside of the combat zones, which I can only say are the dead equivalent of the Doomslayer gates from Doom Eternal, is 1,000% a game on the rails. Like, you go from one area to the next. The maps are two-dimensional flat, pretty easy to read. A, B. There's secrets hidden in between A and B. It's not like a dead stick, nothing. But it's a rail. Now, while I love all games equally, games on a rail don't have replayability. I sat down and I trophied this game out in like a 72-hour window. I played on one weekend where I got most of my recording, and then the weekend after I did the rest of my recording and then just pushed for the trophy hunt. This is not a game I could see myself wanting to play again in the future. The price tag for me is not justified. I would wait till this game goes on sale. Is it a lovely adventure? Absolutely. I'm going to try and keep this as spoiler-free as possible because this game is still new on the market. This isn't some 7-plus-year-old game that I'm playing like I usually do, where everyone's had a pretty fair chance to get to the ending, see the spoilers, yada yada. I want to try and keep my discussion flat. Like, if you're a gamer and you log into Steam, you know, clickety-clackety, I want to play something this weekend. If you have money to blow, absolutely. Absolutely, this game is worth that. If you're a gamer who wants a game that they can pick up time and time again, because it's like, hey man, this is my Skyrim, this is my good adventure game, this is my happy game. I don't think this is it. This game does not do terribly much to innovate. The hacking system is definitely nice. I mean, they're taking the classic third-person over-the-shoulder angle that they have in most, you know, Resident Evils, Dead Space, Gears of War, Tom Clancy's Division, you name it. They took that camera angle, and they're like, how can we make this angle more interesting? Well, you get a kid as a backpack, and you have your regular gun reticle, which pops up as a circle, and then you have the panel slightly off to the side of the vision, which it would be on this side my looking, this side you're looking, where it's off to the side. You can still see what you're aiming at, but there's a panel over here that you get to minigame hack. Now, maybe it's because I was intrigued with the new game at the moment, or my ADHD didn't let me do the reading skill check there. You have two options, not one, two on how to do this on a mouse and keyboard. Now, my dumbass saw the Alt button highlighted as an Alt button and said, that's the button, we gotta hold down Alt while we trace this. Which only then came to my attention that you're allowed to use the button on the side of your mouse to do the tracing. I didn't even realize this until I watched my own recordings back while I was editing, and I was like, wait, what's that say? And now, I have no issue. Usually I'll keep my thumb curled in so I can hit Control, Alt, all that stuff is on the, you know, pinky, spaces for the thumb. I usually rest my thumb between Alt and space, so I have kind of a cat's claw grip. Gamer hands. I felt so incredibly stupid because I kept finger fumbling the Alt key that I could have just used my mouse. I don't think they made the instruction large enough for that, or they should have shown the mouse button first and Alt second. Because I mean, we're in 2026. Most people have a gaming mouse with at least two side buttons. We've evolved that way. All right. But I do like the innovation with the shooting. I was just too dumb to figure out that there was a better way to mechanic that mechanic than how I did it. The weapons system felt a little eh. I understand it as kind of like Dead Space's syndrome, where you went into that ship with just engineering tools. You are now trying to survive with the engineering tools. And as you get further and further into the game, they hand you things that are most definitely not engineering tools, and it makes you wonder. It's like, we're out here researching nature. Luna filament and its many purposes, and one of the many purposes you guys came up with checks notes. A fucking death laser? Another thing that I do have as a partial complaint, the story line definitely has more implied storyline than actual storyline. Like for me, I actually had to write this one down. EDIS, if you actually take the time to like stare at its nameplate, stands for Intelligent Direction Unification System. So it sounds like EDIS is more of a scientist to scientist communication chain. And the thing that gets me even more riled up is anytime something happens on the station, hey, get this person out of here, hey, you're not supposed to be here, it's always EDIS. But then when there's issues like, hey, we need to go board this tram line over here, there's a second station AI, which is just the female voice that you hear every once in a while. And it doesn't get a fancy name like EDIS. It's literally just called Station AI. Now, I'm not gonna step on the beehive of we need more blah 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 representation in blah 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 gaming industry, but if you're gonna have a station AI, why do you have a second station AI? Like, I don't get that one. Yeah, there's some things in there that definitely need thinking. I will say they definitely left themselves open to more potential games, but no DLC for this game. So if anyone's sitting on the bridge and waiting for a DLC to drop before they buy the game, don't wait. I saw a lot of online reports say, yeah, this game is going to take you like 20 to 30 hours to beat. Nope. I did quite literally everything except for a little bit of trophy cleanup in a single 15-hour playthrough. So, if we're using my classic ratio of $1 is an hour, then by all means, even with all my trophy hunting, I have been scammed at least $15 of my time. Because I think I racked up 33-ish hours. So I'm out a couple bucks there. Would I recommend this game? Absolutely. The game has good emotion to it, and I'm going to poke the elephant in the room very briefly here for everyone. For those in the gamer space that are being weird about it, if you try to make it weird, it's gonna fucking be weird. If you look at this game as dude who didn't want kids acquires temporary kid, that's that. That's that. If you look at this as, man, kind of weird the developer didn't put shoes on the robot kid, huh? If you're looking at it for that, you're fucking weird. You should be on a list. You're probably on a list. And your list involves you not being near a school zone. You people, just stop. Let a game company make a game that actually has some real emotion to it. Like, do I agree it's a little strange? Sure. But it was a developer choice. I don't have the fucking experience to be a game dev, so I'm not going to tell them what the fuck to do. It's that simple. Did the game have some emotion to it? Yes. Did I cry? Almost. Close. But no cigar. It's no Red Dead Redemption 2. That game makes me ugly cry every time. This, eyes got a little itchy, a little warm in the face. That's really it. If you're looking for what I would say is like a good weekend filler, like you got your Saturday and your Sunday all to yourself, you want to get a bag of chips, sit back, play a new video game that feels familiar but isn't really, this is your ticket. Spend up. It's good. If you're looking for a game that you can pop in the disc any old time like Skyrim and boot it up and just go for it, this is not your fucking game. Not worth your money, not worth your time. I will always recommend getting a game on sale. This is one that I can confirm is not fully worth its price. Is it stunning visually? Absolutely. Is it emotional? Yes. Am I going to tell you to go spend like a Taco Bell meal's worth of money on something that's going to last you about the same time as a Taco Bell meal's worth of suffering? No. I can't justify that. I'm going to say this is probably a solid 8.7 out of 10 for me. Good emotion, familiar-ish gameplay. Definitely has some new aspects with, like, you know, hacking and stuff. But there was room for improvement. I didn't hate it. I can't say that it was like the best thing I've ever done, but it's all right. And for its price, it could be better. Hopefully I'll have some more stuff recorded up soon here. I will see you guys on the next one.